welcome once again to Talking Small Press Comics with Steve Keeter and me, Larned Justin. This is episode 28, by the way. Oh, look at that.
Yep. I'm a member of the Superman Club.
Member of the Superman Club. Okay.
Superman Club. Yeah, the Superman Club. Drum roll, please. You were expecting something weird, weren't you? You know me. But Superman. Well, you know Superman.
I know Superman, yes.
Strange visitor from another planet. He came to Earth with powers and abilities.
Guess what? His name is Clark Kent.
Oh, yeah, that part's in there, too. Powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Yes. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who
disguised as, jump from
you guessed it, Clark Kent, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
That's right.
Somebody sent me
him and his horse Silver.
Somewhere along the line, and this also, I got a shirt on here. These are characters that I created. They're all copyrighted, so you're not allowed.
You must. You got more money than I thought you did. That's
I created all these characters.
Yeah.
Nice. I wear that shirt today. Just to show off. Oh yeah, I'm a pretty talented guy.
I see that.
Aquaman, Batman. I mean, I did all that.
Yeah. Well, I think we got comics to review.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Micah Liesenfeld. His number one, which is called B-Sides. You have that handy?
B-Sides?
Yeah, it's the first one he did. I'll show you. Looks like that.
I'll be darned. Oh, that's Space Car Junkie.
Yeah, Space Car Junkie, Micah Liesenfeld.
I don't have that one. I have.
Yes, you must. You only have two?
Yeah, I have number 1 and number 3. Is that number 2?
This is number 1.
That's number 1?
The one you're holding is number 2.
Oh, I had number 2 and number 3, but I didn't get number 1.
You didn't get number 1.
No, but go ahead and talk about it because...
Well, okay, let me just quickly talk about it because it's actually, he says right in the beginning in his write-up that he lost number 1 completely. And he's tried to recreate it here a little bit. There's a number of different stories in number 1 that he's done. And they're all, when he was in college, these are his college roommates. And this is the crazy stuff that went on in college. And there's a lot of funny stuff in here. But let's look at the other one since you didn't get this one.
That's okay, because it's
a shame on Micah.
Yeah,
that was a huge number 2. Okay, we're looking at number 2.
It does involve his friends in college.
This is once again, him and his college buddies. And Micah is Space Car.
He's Space Car Junkie.
Yeah, well, they call him Space.
Or Space.
Buddies. I think Space Car Junkie's too long. So they just call him Space.
Yeah, and he has other friends here.
Yeah.
The Jesus.
The Jesus is one of his friends.
And what's his name? Aussie guy.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But
and this is the Space Car Junkie special nightmare issue.
Right. And yeah, because he drifts in and out of adventures, being in class, and is this the one that has to do with the Asian lady in the restaurant, the Asian waitress?
I'm trying to remember, but I know it does start off with the horrible dream I had last night.
Yeah. What happened was
the nightmare issue.
Okay. So Space Car Junkie was doing a comic book, a slice of life comic book detailing the events in his life, which is what this is. Telling the story of events that happened in his life, maybe a little bit exaggerated. I get that sort of feel,
Could be.
But he was in this restaurant, and there's this waitress that he's sort of interested in, and she and at he lost. He left the comic book. He left the comic that he was working on at the restaurant, and for much of the issue, he's like, you know, he's lamenting the loss of this comic, and but he's still continuing the story. And I mean, it does eventually turn up later. Um, and, you know, it's kind of a what
His
do we
other
got?
buddy, the guy Aussie, he's Aussie Fax, Fax.
Aussie facts.
Yeah,
Aussie facts.
yeah.
Look at this. There's some funny stuff. I mean, even the characters are laughing at how funny this stuff is. So it's like, you know, you know. So
Yeah, there's some official bathroom humor right here.
yeah,
Because
they
it's
want to play a
knowledge.
joke. They want to play a joke on their roommate, the Jesus,
Yeah.
because he's phlegmatic. I had to look that up. Phlegmatic. It means he's very calm. No matter what the situation is, he's very calm.
Okay.
And, so they have this idea they're going to put mayonnaise
On the
on the
yeah,
toilet
on
seat,
the toilet seat, which is a
and
great
he's so
idea, by the
calm he
way.
won't notice. He'll just sit on it, you know, and
Yeah.
woo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Later they decide to add mustard to the mayonnaise, but they're working on this.
But is right.
This is a work in progress, and you know, it's got to be just exactly right. And the only problem is he notices, the Jesus notices. He comes in there, he sees mustard on there, and he's like, what is this? So it doesn't work out exactly the way they expected it to. Expected it to. He's like right here. He's right here. See, you can see he's upset, and there he is, the Jesus.
There he is.
Called him that because he has long hair, and you know, he says, like, you know, so I didn't sit it. Was I supposed to sit in it? What is on the toilet? And you know, they're like walking away. You know, one of the guys says, I got to go to class. So
yeah, somebody ruined the joke. It's right in here. Somebody ruined their joke. But anyway, they attempted it, which I think is good. Not all jokes work out. Especially the toilet seat with mustard and mayonnaise on it. That joke is hard to make that joke work out.
And you know, and I love this artwork. You know, it's not like totally professional, but it's totally interesting.
I think it's yeah, I think it's fast. It's sketchy, and because I think he's trying to get these ideas and stories down quickly. So
that's not all, because if I'm reading the in the introduction here, he said that he used to do comics, and he would write the comics, and he would pencil the comics, and it was, you know, it was pretty funny. But when he inked the comic, it wasn't as funny, and he couldn't figure out why is that. After you add the inks, it's not as funny as it was in the penciled version. So in this particular issue, I don't know about the first issue because I didn't get it, but in this particular issue, he does everything in one take, no pencils at all.
Yeah,
just totally.
I think that's the way they are. Yeah, I think that's this one too.
In ink, and
this is like that also.
That's how it is. Here he is still looking for the lemon girl. He calls her the lemon girl. That's the Asian waitress, because she wore a lemon outfit, a lemon colored outfit. And this is when she does eventually reveal that she has that slice of life comic. And here it is right here. She has it here, the comic that he's been working on. But then she does something because he kind of ticks her off, and so she like looks like she threw it in a puddle. You know, don't misbehave, man. Poof, there goes your comic. You know, that's rude. But he does recover it.
He gets it out,
He does recover the comic. This is so fun.
The next one is Aussie Fax's Dream.
Aussie Fax's Dream.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much almost wordless. kind of a thing, but it has to do with hockey.
It starts out having to do with hockey, but it's like a dream. It goes in crazy directions.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yep.
Starts out with hockey.
And here's the back, which is in full color, by the way.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, that's a classic.
Ninja Guy.
That's better than Gene Colan and Tom Palmer, definitely. No, yeah. Okay, but it's not bad. Nice little logo.
Mm-hmm. And then there's
Space
Car Junkie #3.
I'm still looking at #2 because it's pretty fascinating. Here he is waking. I'm sorry. Here he is waking up from the nightmare.
Oh yeah.
One of the nightmares. Seems like there's 2 or 3 nightmares in here.
Could be.
And Micah's artwork is perfect for this. You see the big eyes, the startled. He expresses the emotions of these characters, and he does it in a classic cartoony way. And remember, there's no pencils. He did this all in one shot.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's something that makes this highly recommendable. It comes directly from his creative drive, from his talent, from his heart. Well, you can say his heart, but it's funny. But yeah, it's just pen to page, and that's it.
Yep.
Great job for Micah.
Yeah. Then his #3, Space Car Junkie #3, is a little different because I think he took a little more time with some of the artwork in here.
And then colors in cover. Cover is in color.
In a little ways. Look at this.
Yeah, right in the middle, it looks like there's a computer game. He created a computer game, something to do with Wookiee Knights.
Wookiee Knights.
And you see that in the middle. Well, this obviously wasn't done in one take. He obviously didn't just, took the
and
pen
they're playing, these guys are playing the different parts here. Space Car Junkie is Dark Ninja. Ossifax is Lord Platypus.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm trying to see.
Computer generated artwork for Micah.
It is wordless. But I'm sure Micah and Aussie know what's going on here. We may not, but they do.
He may not, yeah. It's right in the middle of the issue.
Yeah, right in the middle.
And
because there's actually what he says in the front here. There's 2 stories. Why I Love Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
Varmint. Oh, 3, I guess. There's Upwards.
Yeah.
So I guess there's 3.
They're in college. It reminds me when I was at East Carolina University way back in 1974. But I was in college once, folks, and it snowed there as well. And here we have the snow.
Nice and cold.
Cars covered with snow. And these guys, that's all Ossifax there, and Space, they decide to, they want to, there's a hill there. And this brings back memories to me because, but what they decided, they want to slide down the hill. So they're trying to decide what to use. It could get on cardboard or whatever.
Yeah.
But it reminds me, when I was in school, when I was at East Carolina University, and it snowed, and we had all these dorms up on a hill, and there was thousands of people in these dorms, students, and we all went out. You know what they did? There was a cafeteria in the bottom of my dormitory, and somebody broke into the cafeteria. And you know those trays, if you're at a cafeteria, you have the trays, you put all your stuff, the plastic trays.
Yeah.
They stole all the trays, and all the students jumped on those trays and were sliding down the hill. And when the snow melted a day or 2 later, you could see all these trays scattered all over the hill.
That would have made a good comic, Steve.
Right. Yeah. Only thing, Micah has kind of done it for me, and he's talking about that too. They're sliding down the hill. not on these trays, but on something they found.
Yeah.
Cushions,
Cardboard
seat
or something.
cushions. Yeah.
There's another character in here now. If you look at Chris the Piss,
Yeah, Krista Piss comes along
he's in there.
about halfway through the issue.
Yeah.
Says, an interesting fellow, a man of mystery and undefined lines. Some suspect that he is actually a spy for the Polish government under the guise of a college student. But, actually, he's
Actually,
just...
that's a different story than the first story is actually the one where they're sliding down Why I Love Huckleberry Finn. I didn't find a reference to Huckleberry Finn in there, but I don't know what that means.
Anyway, they were doing comics. He was already doing comics, and he talks about it in the college days. And his friends would, like a jam comic. They would contribute.
So his friends, so he was getting his friends to help him, like Huckleberry Finn did.
Right.
Defense.
And they would each person would contribute a panel or two, and it was a jam comic, right?
I think so.
But Chris didn't have the patience the other guys did. So he had a tendency, like they talked him into doing a panel here, but he had this crazy tendency to just jump out the window.
There he goes.
Which he did.
I see that.
And there he goes, and he's on the second floor, which is probably not a good idea to jump out the window when you're on the second floor. Doesn't show what happened next, but
it does. It kind of ends there, and upwards starts. Another comic.
Upwards. This one's interesting with the Jesus. Apparently his name was Von Mises, or maybe not. Maybe that's a joke. I don't know. The Jesus and Space Car Junkie. So there they are.
The Jesus, Von Mises and Space Car Junkie, and they are
playing chess.
Playing chess, possibly.
And that's it. There's a whole page.
They have a dirty table. One of them.
But something happens after that. Well, actually, it's another story called Varmint.
Yeah, there's another story.
Alcy Fax comes back to his room, and I thought it was a rat at first, but actually it's a possum. There's a possum eating his, Cheetos or something. Yep, his Doritos. There's a possum eating his Doritos.
Yeah, and then they get a broom and go after him.
Yeah, so he's not too happy about it. And this is crazy stuff. Micah Liesenfeld, he's kind of a genius. I mean, this stuff is really funny. And
and you're going to see with some of his other work, his other work is completely different than this.
I mean, there's some stuff that it takes you a while to figure out.
Oh, yeah.
There's some stuff that Micah does it's kind of complex. Yeah, and you have to read it and read it and read it again. I mean, I've read some of these 2 and 3 times already.
And here on the back page is all of his characters. Those guys. They're all right there.
There they go. Alcy Fax, Chris the Piss, the Jesus, and Space Car Junkie.
Which is Micah.
Yeah. And here they are whacking the possum.
Yeah, with the broom.
You can tell that hurt because his eyes are...
Because his eyeballs came pumping out.
Yeah. Oof.
Wow.
This too brings back... It's funny that these things bring back memories. When I had an apartment in Orlando 30 years ago, but I remember that went to the bathroom in the morning, and there was a little hole in the wall, like something, they've been doing some work, but they didn't finish it. And there was a possum in the bathroom, no kidding. And, I came in.
You didn't go to the same college as Micah?
I don't think so. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But his stories, they kind of trigger memories just for me, It's weird. But, there was a possum. He took off into the hall, and I had to go tell the landlord, you got to do something. There's a possum in my bathroom, and this is not cool.
No, get a broom.
Yeah. And the possum in Micah's comic was drinking the toilet water, the water out of the toilet.
Well,
dogs will do that, cats will do that. Any critter that doesn't know.
And if you have enough beers, you will do that.
I don't think I've ever had that many beers. I hope not. If
Oh.
so, I can't remember that.
Okay. Now for something completely different from Micah. Look at this. You got this one, Steve?
I do have that one. That's kind of nice. It's written by a lady friend of
As a girl wrote it, and Micah illustrated it, and you will see how much different his artwork is.
Right. It's
And
Feldspar
it is,
number 1.1.
I think it's called Veldspar.
Feldspar.
Mm-hmm.
And
And there's limited words, but look at the artwork is so much different than what you've seen in his other comics there in Space Car Junkie.
it's very poetic.
Yeah.
Just to read it, just to stop on any page, it will make us all worn out by the time the sun rises, but we will be 10 steps ahead, and night traveling is so much prettier. And this is the illustrations. It's very nice. A really good work by Micah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's far superior to the early stuff that he did, which was great, but this is very well defined and just
Nice
lovely
work.
artwork.
Look at that.
That's Micah at his best, I believe.
Very nice. Very nice work.
There's another page.
Very simple story.
The lady, she's looking in the rearview mirror in her car, and just look at that.
Yeah. And look at this, too. I mean, just different. Just different.
Yep. So this is a really cool,
In fact, even the size is different. Look at that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're showing
an illustration on the back.
Right.
Very cool.
So they're showing a journey. It sort of ends at an airport. Interestingly, the lady in the story, which would be the author of this story, decides to stop before she gets to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? It's right here. Okay, so she parks her car, and she's just looking off. Look at that lovely scene of the airport. Mm-hmm. And she's saying, wanting to park and stay and make up stories for the people moving so quickly. What does it mean to be mobile? And she's just imagining stories about the people who are getting on that plane, who are going to that airport. This is really nice. This is very
very nice. Really is.
Totally different from Micah, and
from the crazy college days to something you almost say it's quiet. If a comic book can be quiet,
tranquil, quiet, lovely, and nice art, really nice artwork. So that's cool too.
Yeah. The other thing Micah likes to do are these comics made from one single page and folded into a comic book.
Yeah, and we have
they are 8 pages long, each one.
Yeah, here they go, and they're bound. There's a bunch of them. They're all bound together, and he has this thing wrapped around them.
Still have the binding on. If you can see it right here.
Hunky Dory, and these are a hoot, man. There's some funny stuff here. That one, let's see, Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory is with it has Scruffy in it.
Yeah, he went out to get toilet paper, and he said she told me to go get toilet paper, so he heads out to the store. But he sees this action figure he really wants. And so, he buys the action figure.
There's all 4 of them that were bound together, 4 different comics.
Yeah, they're all bound together. I just, unbound them. And that's this package. But there's another package over here.
Another package we have.
Yeah.
Let me take this. This starts off with Potato.
And this guy's excited. This is funny. This one's funny, the one I mentioned before, because he's got this action figure, and he's looked for this action figure for years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he went out to buy toilet paper. He says, I can't believe it. After all these years, my collection is complete. And then you see him.
Which one? I didn't.
He's so happy.
Which one was that? What's the cover?
Yep.
What's the cover of that one? Which one is that?
Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory. Okay.
And the place that he's going to is Wall something, but it's not Walgreens, but it looks like Walmart actually, Wall Glow or something like that. But in the end, it doesn't matter because he catches hell when he gets home because he took too long. She wanted the toilet paper, and she's saying, "You good for nothing, son of a blue. I told you to come straight home. I can't believe this is happening again," etc., etc., etc. So he was happy. And she kind of ruins his happiness, but hey, at least he got the action figure he wanted. You know? I mean, you can pick out any of them. I'll open the other package. All kinds of them. This one here.
Feeling crabby.
Feeling crabby. Let's see. I'll find that one there.
All right, let's see here.
Feeling crabby. Here it is. Okay, let's see what's going on this lately.
So I decided to eat my feelings.
Yeah, and there's a lot of vomit in this particular story.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. He ate his feelings, and it came back up. And he went by a
on the
slot
bright
machine.
side, he did well on the slot machine.
Yeah, except that he throws it all up.
Yeah, on the next page.
There they go.
Everything he got from the slot machine. And he's got
oh, and there was the crab. The crab appears at the very end of the story on the back cover. And there's a little girl, and she has this crab, and she's putting it into a sand castle.
In the sand castle.
Yeah. So we have this totally revolting story.
I think that Micah told me these are called Scratch and Sniff comics. And I think they're kind of jam comics, is what I think. So I didn't smell anything, but I think they're jam comics.
Yeah.
I think that's what he told me. He doesn't say it anywhere in any of these that I saw, but I think he told me that he's got some people that do parts of it or tell him what to do or something. I don't know, but I think they're kind of like a jam comic. That he corresponds with some people.
Don't know, but they're all in color. And it's really cool.
Color and they're all fun. They're cool.
And the other set over here, the other set is one called Potato. And you can already tell by looking at this, there's a potato under those bed sheets.
Yeah.
So this guy,
because he says, I woke up like this, a potato.
He's a potato. If you look here he is looking in the bathroom mirror, and he's got his toothbrush.
Like brush his
potato
teeth.
head. Toothbrush is stuck in there.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And then
toothbrush and his hairbrush are stuck in there. Like he's Mr. Potato Head.
Here. And he wasn't alone. There's potatoes everywhere, it says.
The fabric of the cosmos had changed.
It's potatoes now.
Yeah. Potatoes rule the cosmos. Somehow at the end we get to McDonald's fries there.
Yeah, but those are real potatoes right there.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
He gets the girl in the end because of French fries.
French fries.
Yeah.
I just ate McDonald's a couple of weeks ago. I had they got stuff that I didn't know they had. They got some sort of like a quarter pounder, but it's got like bacon and stuff on it. And I hadn't. When the pandemic began, I quit going to McDonald's. Even though there's one right down the street from here, I didn't go for like 2.5, 3 years. And just recently I went back, and it was McDonald's. It's an American institution.
I was just going to say, though, remember I said scratch and sniff? Scratch and sniff. Look at your copy of Potato. There's a little, maybe even a stamp, but that does say scratch and sniff.
Right there.
You can read it. Can you read it?
I don't want to smell my fingers on camera.
Scratch and Sniff Comics.
somebody's going to say something. Steve was smelling his fingers in a video, man.
Yeah, but we were told to. We were told to do it. You scratch, and then you sniff.
Yep.
So.
Hilarious.
Now, there's another thing that Micah does.
We can keep going on. We got a lot of stuff from Micah.
These are small, but these are really small. Did he send you those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see if
and the cover is on a shiny.
Yeah, those are
paper.
Hang on, somebody's sending me a message. Why is this happening? I thought that. Let me get rid of Messenger.
Oh, okay.
And it's somebody cool too. It's Dan Burke. Dan, I'll get back to you later.
Yeah.
Well, if I can get this picture back up. Let's see. Uh-oh. Here it is. There we go. Now we're back.
All right. Anyway, you got...
Okay, there's a lot of stuff to mention. So let's go to the mini comic. And there are
these are micro
mini comics.
And these are wordless.
And there's two of them.
They're thick. I don't know how many pages, but they're thick. Yeah. There's another one here too. And it's on this metallic paper.
Okay. So we have two of those. At least I have two of those. And
I got two. Yeah.
Okay, and it has to do, and if you stop and you read this and you follow it really closely, the story panel by panel. Okay. We have this guy. He's like an astronaut.
He's an astronaut, yes.
And he lands on this planet. There's his spaceship.
Is that Snow World?
Snow World.
Yeah.
They mentioned Snow World in there, so he lands on a planet of snow.
Yeah.
And I like this panel. This little one here. He's unscrewing the top of his spaceship and coming up out of the spaceship. Just unscrew it. That's how you get out of there,
Yeah. And, I don't know. Yeah.
If you follow this thing, and you have to follow it very closely, he comes along. He slides down a few hills. Okay. And he even finds there's this little disc. I don't know where he got this little disc from, but if I want to mention it because he slides up and down the hills on a little disc, like the college guys going down the hill at the dormitory.
Yeah.
But he uses that to kind of get around, and it comes up in this other story too. These little discs pop up over there too, so that's why I'm mentioning it. And let's just go through here. I mean, it's really long.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah, it's a long.
There's a lot to it.
And it's wordless. No words.
No words.
He's trudging uphill. Trudging uphill. Now, let's see if we can fast forward here. Climbing up a hill.
Yeah, it's the very end. Hill.
And at the very end, there's a hole in the wall of the snow mountain, and something reaches out like tentacles, like Dr. Octopus, reaches out and grabs him. You see? And that's where this issue ends. So that was...
I think he's okay, though. He's on the back page.
Apparently, yeah. Well, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that was part one. It looks like it's a 4-part story is what it looks like. I think so. But then you go to part 2. And this is the creature, the tentacled monster that grabs him and drags him into the mountain.
This is actually, he says, Act 2.
Act 2. It's Act 2.
Yeah.
So it's a play.
So this is Act 1.
Yeah.
This is Act 2.
Yeah. And the story in this one is called Cavemen.
Cavemen.
But it seems to be guys who, like himself, there's other astronauts in there. Perhaps these are guys who are also captured by the tentacle creature, and they're trapped inside this mountain. How many times did you have to read this to understand? Yeah, I mean, I read it like 3 or 4 times. I just kept going.
Okay. I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it until you said that. Yeah.
Because it's entirely wordless.
Yeah.
And,
and it's long. I mean, it is a
long story. And all of these, I guess, I don't know, just to survive, for some reason they have to sit on top of those things, like he was sliding down the hill, and there's these things, and you see him sitting there. And I want to
mention too, we haven't talked about any prices or anything on any of this, but Micah has an Etsy shop. So if you would look up his Etsy shop, you would find this stuff for sale. And it's Etsy shop, Micah Nova.
Micah Nova.
Micah Nova.
And he shines brightly like a supernova. Yeah. Micah, you shine brightly in the universe.
Yes, he does.
With these great
metallic covers.
Mm-hmm. And so for some reason, and I have to read it again and again to figure out why, for some reason, these guys end up having to sit on these discs. Now, I'm not really sure why exactly. Yeah. But there's all these guys.
Because there's right next to that, there's a big hill. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it looks here like our hero is trying to escape. It's a cave. It's a cave inside a snow mountain. He's trying to escape here. But the tentacle creature grabs him and pulls him back in. And you see the other guys, the other astronauts, you can see them up here.
Mm-hmm.
There they go. There they go. So.
Well, I don't want to give away the end, mainly because I don't know.
It hasn't really ended yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's ended. This is only Act 2.
But
it keeps on going, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because, well, no, I'm not going to show you that. Okay. Yeah. So.
If I may continue.
Yeah, go ahead. Certainly.
What happens here? I mean, it's kind of interesting as far as the astronaut in this particular story goes. You see all the astronauts here, right? All these guys who are trapped in this cave, right? And I don't know if it's a dream sequence or what, but the one we've been following, this particular he astronaut, he dreams that he's getting away, and he finds himself on a planet, presumably Earth, and he finds himself, well, there he is with flowers and stuff. I thought this was interesting. There's a love interest here. He meets a lady, and she looks like a lady astronaut. Looks like she has the astronaut helmet and a dress.
And he falls in love instantaneously.
He falls in love. And there they are, like they're living on a farm with a pitchfork and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a dream, and the story goes on, and and all of it, the amazing thing is this thing. I don't have any. It's got like 40 pages in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's just it's compelling. If you really start to get into it and you really start to read it, it's compelling. Now there's a monster that keeps popping back up here. He pops up and he's like he's just watching over things, but he's not going to allow these astronauts to escape from the planet. So this is what I make of it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure.
When they try to escape, here he is trying to get away, and that tentacle comes and grabs him back. So I don't know where this is going, but these are the coolest mini comics or micro comics or whatever these are called. They're, not much bigger than a postage stamp.
Right.
But there is a lot of substance in this, and you got to hand it to Micah.
Yeah. Thinking that through
can't be pull that off.
You got to, quite a bit of work just thinking that through.
Right.
portray that.
I mean, that takes
So anyway, look at all the
kind of talent to
and
pull
he's
that
got
off.
all these minis, all these, I call them sub mini comics. So
Right.
all kinds of those on his Etsy shop, I'm sure. So if you get a chance, make sure you look him up on Etsy and see if you
Micah
see what else
Liesenfeld.
he's got. He's probably got a lot of stuff on there. Okay, I guess we'll move on to Rob Haynes.
Randy Reynaldo. My old pal Randy Reynaldo.
Randy Reynaldo and Rob Haynes Adventures.
We
And this time on a
reviewed
ship.
we reviewed the last issue recently, and here is issue number 23.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Haynes has been around for a while, not just in his own comic book, but in previous adventures. As I said, Randy was in the UFO years ago. What was it? The late 70s, the early 80s. But Randy, this character is a long-running character.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can tell that.
Yeah,
and I don't know what this award is, the Ink Pot Award, but not familiar with it. But
that's
if you win
something
any
to
kind of
give out.
award in comics, it's kind of a big deal.
I think it's something they give out at the San Diego comic convention.
Well, that's even a bigger deal. Yeah.
So it's an award of recognition. Okay, here on the back, Inkpot Award recipient, 2018, the San Diego Comic-Con, which is, of course, one of the biggest conventions in the country. And it says, well, it doesn't say anything. It's just that, but he got that reward.
I got the award.
I do
what
know
I like about this, on the very first page, the back of the front cover, he says, "Are you new to the series?" And he tells you about each character.
Perfect.
Which is great, because you can just pick up the comic then and start reading it. I'd like to see a lot more people do that when they're doing continuing series.
Yeah, and I used that. I kept referencing back when I was reading the story. I kept going back to reference the characters because there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
So it's very, very helpful.
Fantastic artwork, of course.
Yep. Randy Reynaldo is obviously influenced by, I would say, Milton Caniff, who did Steve Canyon, and maybe Alex Toth also. Some of these artists, sort of a similar style. But you know what? Randy doesn't have to answer to anybody.
No.
His artwork.
It's his.
It's his, and it's as good as this is good as anything out there. I think that Randy has a. I mean, he was always good, but he's come a long ways, and it's just brilliant. The artwork and the story.
Yeah.
And Rob Haynes is a guy.
He's an adventurer.
An adventurer, sort of a secret agent, not secret agent, but a Secret Service type of agent or something.
Yeah.
He works for Justice International, a security, intelligence, and private investigation agency. So he's kind of like a private investigator, but he gets involved in all these adventures.
Some people call them mercenaries and spies for hire.
A mercenary, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's pretty much it for short.
But that, you can do a lot with a character like that. It's just great. The adventures never end.
He goes all over the world getting involved in spectacular adventures. In this particular issue, there is a notorious crime ward named Nikolai Corda. Right here. Nikolai Corda.
Yeah, that's him. Right in the first page.
Right. He has a bodyguard named Clemson, I believe. Clemson. And but Nikolai Corda is planning on doing some high seas piracy. They're going after a ship, the Peregrine, that has oil worth more than 50 million euros. Whatever that is, I don't know what euros are. I know euros is European money, but 50 million sounds like a lot. So I would say it's worth a lot.
And it just so happens that Rob is on that ship.
Yeah, and they're planning to hijack this ship.
Yeah.
Okay, take the people on board captive, and and demand a lot of money in ransom. So they get the ship, and also ransom money for the captives.
Mm-hmm.
So
the ship is the Peregrine. That's the name of the ship.
The Peregrine, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's other people on board, and the thing is, they've decided to go by there are high risk areas that you can travel, and there are areas that are low risk. So they decide they're going to travel a low risk area where the chance of piracy is highly unlikely. I mean, they're all relaxing. You got Rob. Rob seems to be very popular with the ladies.
Oh yeah.
And here they are on board and asking him to join them, but he has stuff on his mind. And
Rob is not like a superhero or anything like that.
Oh, nothing like that. He's a real guy.
He's in fact, right here you can see. If I can show you this, he got smacked pretty good right there.
Yep. He got hurt in the previous adventure. In fact, in this adventure, he's healing from his injuries.
Yeah.
In the last issue.
Yeah. So they grab him during this takeover. And
they come in, and there's a lady who's part of the hijacking team.
She's one of the spies.
This one, and they've got planes, they got boats, they got all kinds of stuff, but they're just they're taking over. So
lots of action.
Ooh.
Lots of action. Look at the action here.
This criminal mastermind, Corda, there's a couple of people on there. It's a husband and wife. And let's see. Bertie and Lorelei Itwhistle. Is that who that is? Well, what he does, this criminal mastermind, this Corda, he threatens the life of a certain member of the crew and his wife, and gives him a gun and tells him, that he has to kill Rob Haynes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, not what you want to hear when you're out on a pleasure cruise,
No, not really.
You have to kill this guy, whether you like it or not. So it reminds me, there was a movie. What was the movie with Tom Hanks a few years ago? What was that?
It's the one where the captain got kidnapped, and then the Marine sharpshooters kill the kidnappers on their submarine.
Movie. Yeah. What was the name of that?
That really happened.
They dealt with high-speed piracy in that one.
Yeah, yeah. They were
think
pirates.
Of the name right now, but this kind of reminds me of that. But
Captain Phil.
Rob manages to get off the ship.
Yeah. This guy's going to kill him, but he didn't. Rob dives off the ship.
Comes up on this raft, and then sneaks back on the ship, and he has a plan to combat these guys. In fact, what happens? Well, I'm not going to tell you too much about what happens.
Can't tell you what happens.
These innocent people on board, and this guy, this Corda guy, I have to keep. See, this is why it's handy to have this at the beginning. You can keep going back.
Yeah, you can go back.
Nikolai Corda, criminal mastermind. He's actually threatening Madame Vory, who's another criminal. But anyway, she's involved in it, and he's threatening her. I think right here. Yeah, he's threatening her.
Yeah.
If she doesn't go along with everything he says, well, he's going to kill her. And they're waiting all along. See the thing, Rob. Okay, this is kind of a complicated story, but Rob Haynes had left a message with with the people that he works for, that if he didn't contact them within a certain amount of time, then that meant that there was a piracy occurring, that the ship was being taken over, and they would need to move in. And so when they do, it's an exciting and dramatic moment.
That's the action. A lot of action at that point. All kinds of action. But we run the risk of giving things away, so we have to be careful.
That was giving away almost too much right there.
We'd like to tell you everything and tell you how it ends.
I'm not going to tell you the ending.
Not going to do it.
I mean, who knows what happens at the ending? Aliens may have landed on the ship and taken over. I mean,
you don't know.
There could have been
this.
Yeah.
You have no idea. And we're not telling.
It might have been a hurricane. The ship sunk.
This is $3.99 in the U.S. and $27.50 in Canada.
Yeah.
No, it's only $4.99 in Canada.
How much in Canada?
$27.50.
Published by Kablam, folks.
Yeah.
And I used them before for my reprint of #1.
I used them too for a comic. 2 comics I had to do.
They're right here in Orlando. I've never been by their offices, but they're right here.
Wow.
And
you can carry this stuff over there.
That's right. I mean, I could. I literally could. I've never been by there.
Yeah.
They're in downtown Orlando, a few miles from here.
Wow.
And I would like to use them again because I like to reprint some of my earlier comics that were full-size comics, the early issues of Mantra and Excuse me.
I've got a comic coming that I want to have printed by somebody like this. I've used Kablam before, but I may have them do it. I may have you carry the stuff over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dan Burke introduced me to Kablam. My friend Dan.
There's another one called Wellspring. Have you heard of Wellspring?
Not exactly, no. But I know they're out there. There's several.
Yeah.
Dan Burke first recommended Kablam to me. He didn't even know that they were right here in my neighborhood. But
wow.
Dan, of course, is an old friend.
And we're getting some comics from Dan. We are getting, I'm scheduled, this is a Sunday, but I'm scheduled to get one delivered today.
Sneak preview.
That one, yeah.
Yep, just got it. Haven't read it yet.
I had to have it because I'm a Mad Magazine guy. So I just had to have that.
Bad magazine, folks.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that one of these days.
Shortly. I can tell you, Dan is a terrific talent. He first got into small press because he ordered #1 from me back in 1974. He ordered that comic, and he says that's what inspired him to get into small press. And he's been doing stuff. He's a better artist
bigger than small press, I think.
He's been doing a lot of stuff over the years.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be reviewing that, and we got some other stuff that's coming up. We got a lot of you guys are sending us stuff, and it's coming in pretty fast now.
Yeah.
So you can expect that. We're going to, I think, increase the frequency of the videos. So
it's hard to do because you're so busy.
I am busy. I'm supposed to be retired, but
you're the busiest retired guy I ever saw.
As soon as I retired, my job, they keep calling me in for work and work extra hours. Somebody else isn't showing up for work.
Oh.
You get people like in their mid-20s and stuff.
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't show up for work. They keep calling out. So then they call me. There's going to come a point where I'm just going to say, no. I'm retired. Give me a break.
Yeah, I'm reviewing comics. I have no time for a drugstore. Right.
That's right. I do want to stay busy, but I want to stay busy doing what I love to do.
I want to mention something before I forget. One of our pals, guy that sends us comics once in a while, is Adam Rodriguez.
Right, Adam.
And he has a YouTube show where he reviews novels, books, novels, all kinds of things. I watched one where he was reviewing what would you call that? Greek tragedies.
He should review these.
Yeah, we have those books coming up. It'd be great if Adam would review those too. Yeah. But he did a Greek tragedy, which I know nothing about. but he explained it so well that I kind of got the idea what was going on. But anyway, he does have a show on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description to his show if you like novels. If you want to take a look at what he's reviewing, he does an excellent job. So
I did check it out. I did check it out very quickly. I've just, as you know, I've been busy, you know, but I did check it out very quickly, and I'll be going back to that show. I want to see the reviews.
He's very smooth, you know. He does a great job. He doesn't stutter and stammer like we do. He actually is good at it.
What's that word? Phlegmatic.
Yeah.
I learned that from a comic book.
Yeah, it was in a comic book. We've learned most everything we know from comic books.
That's right.
In fact, when I was a kid, do you remember classic comic books?
Oh, absolutely. Classics
That's
Illustrated.
how I did all my book reports.
Classics Illustrated. Everybody
Classic
did. You know, we cheated back in those days.
Oh yeah. That's
Classics Illustrated.
Yeah, I never read a real book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I remember Frankenstein, Classics Illustrated. I was like spellbound.
Red Badge of Courage, all those famous
all
things were all classic comic books and great for doing book reports.
I need to bring that title back. That was a pretty good.
They should. Yeah.
Thing.
Kids could use that nowadays.
Yeah, so they could cheat too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
The American way.
I guess we're going to wrap this up. We've finished what we had this time. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell notice so you know when we're on next. We are talking about doing it more frequently, but things come up and Steve can't do it. So
I do the best I can.
I'm here all the time. Doesn't matter. I don't even leave this desk. I'm here 24 hours a day. So
there you go.
I have no problem doing it.
I mean, I'm working on the UFO newsletter too.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
But it's deadline time. Yeah. And I'll be working on that for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
but I can squeeze in an hour. I can squeeze in an hour, and then maybe next weekend we'll do another one.
Yeah, we're hoping to. I don't want to say exactly what we're doing, but keep an eye out because I think you're going to be interested in what's coming up. So, all righty then. I think we'll say goodbye. Most people have probably turned this off already, so it really doesn't matter. We will see you next time.
Don't know what you're missing.
Bye.
Adios.